Yeah. So yeah, Keyframe. I'm very very thankful that thanks to you we now know how canned creams and my offspring would look like. I guess it can only go down
Answers
from here.
To questions no one asked.
Hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random dribble, and today with us, true rarity on the internet, due to reasons with internet on your end. I don't know. Canned cream, CC for short. Huh? See, I did the thing.
How you doing? You did my thing. You stole my thing.
You stole my thing. I was the first. I was the first bespeckled west-wearing Earth pony in the fandom.
You make them children and suddenly they ignore your existence. Okay.
But yeah,
why he's like the old grandpa we put into the home and they just never call.
Yeah. So
wait, what? Why?
My grandkids never visit me. They said I upload too many podcasts and not actual content.
It's true, but yeah, welcome to the show, Canned Cream. Lovely to have you, my good friend and arch nemesis, with me.
Worst enemy and best friend.
Absolutely.
People in the chat who don't know who you are, who the heck are you?
Yeah, who are you? I mean, by now, even people who are in our circuits probably cannot remember who you are.
That's what happens when you don't upload anything.
Yeah, I will continue poking fun at this because even you stole even that from me. You stole even being shitty at uploading stuff from me.
Well, considering you have an entire podcast going now, you're
by now
more
again,
than I am, which is nothing.
I guess I can borrow a Keyframe at some point, so she's good in organizing editing teams and podcasts and guests and stuff.
Well,
so
now,
I need
now
to steal Keyframe via what you're saying.
What? You already had the chance to steal me with me making your vectors, and then you did nothing with them. You lost your chance, buddy.
But yeah, Canned Cream.
Who? One video from Ronnie.
But nevertheless, who are you, and why do you think you deserve to be here?
Why do I deserve to be here? My name is Canned Cream, CC for short. I started back on YouTube a number of years ago, actually, with those Phoenix Wrong videos that were popular way back when. Which, honestly, there might be some people in here now who don't remember what those are. Went on to create my own MLP analysis videos, which I did kind of blatantly style off of ANY. That's not wrong.
Oh, you actually did? I was not aware.
I mean, you were a big influence when I first started. That's not a lie.
And then I taught you Sony Vegas
and
because you were...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when I was using Windows Movie Maker for those early ones, because that was the only video program I had. That whole... Yeah, God, Key, you like die inside every time I mention that.
Yeah, because me and Canned Cream used to talk quite a bit on Skype when his internet was slightly less fucky. And he would talk about using Movie Maker, and I would be like, you're dating, this is like dating a hooker with all the STDs. And then I got him to use Sony Vegas, and I was teaching him how to use it, and he was like, I finally left her. And I was like, good for you.
Exactly. Yeah, and I got to make some nicer quality videos with those for a couple years before kind of just fizzled out and moved on. And by moved on, I mean stopped doing anything. Nothing constructive has happened since then.
But I guess for people who still want to check you out, I would recommend your Tumblr nowadays, because you do a little bit of posting over there on a regular basis.
That is more than regular, yeah. That is way too active. Honestly... Yeah, on Tumblr, on YouTube, on Twitter, anything you want to find me on, it's all Canned Cream. Surprisingly enough, no one else wants that name.
But yeah, besides that, what's going on in your life, dude? What's recently up with you?
Let's see. Recently, it's real life stuff's been pretty boring. It's mostly just home and work, as the adult life is, which is not great. But entertainment-wise, getting through watching a lot of different shows right now that have really been enjoyable. Finally getting caught up with the newest season of MLP. Just got done with the School Days first 2 arc, which I think like yesterday I finally watched it. So I still have the rest of this season that's come out to go through. Finished up a couple of other shows. Watched... I brought this up earlier in the Steam chat, or no, the Skype chat, and yeah, Keyframe had a great reaction. I finally finished last episode of this season of Killing Bites, which is a show that, again, AMY posted about this on your Tumblr.
But you will probably talk about this.
I'm into this. I see these 2 images. That's all I need to know. I don't care what the rest of it. She's in physical pain. Look at her.
Yes, she is in pain.
I don't mind cheesecake. I mean, I watch My Hero Academia. Every girl character in that show is cheesecake. But, like...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, keep something for your media section, Ken.
That show is it's garbage. It's beautiful garbage, but it's fan servicey garbage. Like that is not an award winner by any way, shape, or form. But you know, if you want like gratuitous nudity and needless violence, and you know, if you're of certain fandom affiliations, you will definitely enjoy that show.
What I fucking hate is that, like, I was looking at Tumblr with the this show that you last watched will save you, and I saw the Killing Bites GIF, and I was like, the more I exercise and work out, the more I look like this character. I don't know how I feel.
Don't worry.
Welcome to your future.
No. Keyframe, you're completely safe. This will not happen. You're a mink and not a badger, so it will probably a little bit more white as a fur.
Oh boy! Great! I'm so happy. My Killing Bites OC. This is a murder mink.
Do not steal.
My Kill Sona.
But
I bet that's a thing.
Why can't Cream check this out? Keyframe, since you're already talking, how have you been recently? How was your week?
I've been doing actually pretty okay. You know, working, doing a lot of stuff, DA Games work and all that, really getting into throttle with all that merch business. Because, you know, getting this job promotion is like one of the best things ever. Feels great to actually feel like my skills are being used. You know, instead of being the thumbnail pony, I am now the work pony. Yay! Besides that, I've been streaming on YouTube recently, and I'm having so much fun doing it. I mean, everyone will have their discussions on what's better, Twitch or YouTube, and Twitch has a bunch of good things, but my main audience is on YouTube, and it's so fun to interact with them.
I mean, you did parallel stream, and you had like 30 people watching you on YouTube and 3 watching you on Twitch.
But 40 at one point. But like my average stream when I'm streaming during the day goes up to the 40s.
But yeah, as you said, our historic main audience, because we started out as YouTubers, is still over there. So
yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I've been streaming me working on animations like the TF2 Reanimated, Game Grumps Animated, and then playing. Oh, I have a story to tell. I was streaming Heroes of the Storm. Let me tell you about Heroes of the Storm. So they had a brawl.
We never talked about that on this show.
Doesn't that mug have a crack in it or something?
Yes, it does. Which is why the table actually gets wet where I place it. But please continue. Heroes of the Storm.
But yeah, so there was a brawl last week called Dead Man Standing (heroic). This was a brawl that was so bad. ANY, who usually trudges through the brawls every week just to get that loot box, was like, this is not worth it. I am not going through the Heroes of the Storm calls if you guys are playing Brawl. Because this brawl is so hard. So, you know, knowing me, because I'm evil and hate myself, I played it like 35 times to try to beat it, because you had to get the loot box and win the brawl, you had to win the game. And every single time, I lost. So I was like, you know what? I don't care if this takes an hour. I'm going to stream me playing it, and I'm going to fucking win it, because there was only like 4 hours left in the brawl. And I lost the first time. Then the second time, I was like, okay, I'm playing Lucio, I'm playing my boy, and we won! We won. Me as Lucio, it felt great. I was like, finally, after 2.5 days of nonstop playing this brawl, I finally won.
2.5. I mean, yeah. Here's the weird thing, because this brawl was actually a 2-weeker. In the first week, he was for the plebs like me, who just want to have a good time and win. And the second week, what was it called? Heroic or something?
Heroic.
In parentheses behind the name. So it was the same level but harder. And I tried it 2 times, 3 maybe, and then I was like, yeah, Key, have fun, I'm out. But yeah, this one did it.
I am the only one in our circle of friends that have won that crawl.
It's true.
The thing is,
congratulations.
Keep in mind, this was live and people were watching. I opened up my loot crate. 2 rares, 2 commons. A common spray, a rare spray that was a duplicate, a common, I think another common spray that was a duplicate, and a Carbot spray.
So it was all worth it.
Yeah, for the Carbot spray alone, it was totally worth it. But there's a moment I have in that stream where I was just shaking because it was like 2.5 days of work, and I took a break from the stream. I put it on intermission so I could just walk out of the room and pace in the hallway angrily. I was so mad. I never got mad at a game like that. I was just like,
it's fantastic.
You see, you need me when you play games, because then I will accumulate all the salt and be the salty one, and you can have fun.
I was brimming with salt. I was so glad I was streaming at a time where ANY was asleep, because I feel like he would have been reveling in my anger. He would have been like, oh.
I would never do that.
Oh yeah, you care too much. But so that was
all the suffering of others.
That was that, and then I went. The other big thing that happened this week, I went to Six Flags. I'd never been to the one in California, and it was super fun. It was on Friday the 13th. Now I know what you're thinking, Chrissy. You have risks of going to a theme park on a normal day. Why the hell are you going on Friday the 13th? The logic that this guy pointed out, my bad luck mixed with the bad luck of Friday the 13th cancel each other out.
Well, you still got a sunburn, so
it doesn't hurt, so I don't count that as bad luck. But like,
yeah,
I think there was a lot of superstitious people because every ride had a wait time of 5 minutes.
Nice.
It was. I got on go on rides like a million times, like twice, and it was so cool. And there's this one ride.
Angry.
I get
ride.
CC has a roller coaster cousin. By the mere idea of 5 minutes.
Of getting through a line that quick at Six Flags is just. I mildly hate you right now.
Be like, the thing is, the park closed at 6 o'clock. It was like an early night, but we got through the entire park by like 4 o'clock. So it was so cool. But yeah, there's a couple rides I want to just point out because they are amazing or amazingly stupid. So, Six Flags is all the DC stuff. So they had this one ride called the Lex Luthor drop, which is like one of those rides where you go up and then they drop you down.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is it was VR too. So you go on and they strap you in and they put a VR headset on you. Mm-hmm. So it looks like you're in a room with a bunch of people and Lex Luthor is using an anti-gravity gun on you and shoots you that you're over the city of Metropolis, just floating higher and higher.
Okay.
And Superman breaks the gun and you're free falling, and then you get caught by Wonder Woman and you can look right down her shirt.
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah, you get those nice CGI GameCube graphics boobs.
Wait, GameCube graphics?
I like GameCube, attraction park ride graphics. They're still good. They're nice cel shaded boobs. But
Master Code approves.
But no, and that was really cool. The only thing about it that made me mad is that I remember at Nightmare Nights they had a whole roller coaster that had VR attached, and we didn't go to it because my feet were killing me. And I'm like, damn.
Oh, you wuss.
Damn. I had blisters on the bottom of my feet that bursted. Like I couldn't walk.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, am I a wuss now? I walked through that entire park with blisters.
Back in my day, we had to walk up here both ways.
I eat wood chips for breakfast. But no. Besides that, they also had a Justice League kind of Midway Mania-esque like shoot 'em up ride, where it's a 3D one, and they put you in a cart and you're shooting like these Lex Luthor bots, and the whole plot is Lex Luthor and the Joker teamed up to kidnap all the Justice League members and destroy the city and all that.
And you save them.
The opening of it is like this real. It looks like unrendered Injustice graphics with like Superman just floating in front of the Statue of Liberty, being like, "You are the reserve members of the Justice League," and then it shows Batman and he's driving in his car, and the camera's like, so like I'm driving and the camera's right here, right? So he's driving and then he just periodically looks over at you while he's driving while talking.
That's not safe.
And Cyborg is an actual animatronic that tells you how to use the gun, but his voice is not the Teen Titans Cyborg, like, booyah! It sounds like Robin, like, gee willikers, it's like a video game, isn't that awesome? And I'm like, please, can we just go to the shoot-em-ups now? But it was still a fun ride, but there's a cheese factor there that I really love. And then the one other ride that I have a story behind this, which was terrifying. There's this one ride which I think was called Scream. It was something like that, where there's 2 tracks and there's 2 concurrent carts of people, and they're 2 different tracks, and then you eventually go on the other track. So you're technically riding the ride twice, and it's cool.
That's cool.
My phone was in my back pocket, and I had the logic of, well, the weight of my ass will keep the phone in place. The next thing I know, when we're going down the drops, I just feel this thing start to fly out of my pocket. So I just go boop, and stick my hand right there, and I'm like, and Watch Pony and Brittany Ackerman, who I went with, they were looking over, being like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "My phone almost flew out," and they were like, "Oh." So the rest of the ride, I was just like this.
One-handed, like, yay!
It was terrifying.
I actually have a story quite like that.
What?
We have our own Six Flags here in Missouri. Definitely not as nice as probably the one in California is, because, a little bit of a difference between those 2 states. Mm-hmm. But we have a ride called the Mr. Freeze, and it is definitely based off the Mr. Freeze from that horrible Batman movie.
Ooh,
like that kind of camp.
Up 90-degree angle backwards and then you go right down.
I don't know, it's Schwarzenegger
Yeah, then you
style.
go back down again. Yeah. It's the one where you rocket shoot out of the station, then you go through a couple of loops and things, and you go straight up, and then you go back down through it backwards.
Yeah,
I was wearing a hat that day, and for whatever genius reason, I didn't think that wearing a hat on, the ride that shoots you out of the station incredibly quick would be a problem. So we fly out, and I immediately feel like start going. So I reach like that, I go to pull it down, which then knocks my glasses down. So then I have to reach up and hold my glasses. So for the entirety of this spinning, flippy, whatever bullshitty ride, I'm like this and this, desperately trying to hold on to my thing, while also trying to use my legs to hold myself into the actual seat,
because
so I don't go flying out.
There's a reason that when we went to Six Flags during Nightmare Nights, ANY just put in his contacts, because something like that would happen to his glasses.
Dumb crap.
The one other thing, which I think has just become a tradition of me going to Six Flags, is that there was a wardrobe malfunction again.
Oh boy. Is there also a picture of it again?
No, there's not a picture of it this time. This was a different situation. But okay, backstory. Six Flags Nightmare Nights, I was wearing a tank top and a sports bra that worked perfectly fine for lip sync battles when I'm bouncing all over the place, but not for a roller coaster, because there was like a bump on a roller coaster and suddenly, thump, and I'm just holding my boob in place, trying to cover it up. Max looks over and he's like, "Oh." And then we go to the fucking photo booth place, and we're like, "Hey, can you take down the photo?" And he's like, "What, this?" And he puts it on the big screen, and we're like, "Please look closer." And this teenage boy looks, and his little eyes widen, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
You're supposed to screen for that crap. You're supposed to know better. That's why there's a delay between those pictures.
But, so yeah, we're going on this ride called the Goliath, which is an amazing ride. It had like a 90-degree drop after going super up. It was like the biggest ride at the park. I'm wearing my usual Keyframe sweater, the one that the striped one I always wear.
The boob hole.
Yeah, the boob hole. But the boob hole wasn't the problem this time. the air that was going up from going down lifted the shirt up all the way, like Marilyn Monroe style. And I'm wearing the little tidbit. None of my bras fit me anymore, and I haven't gone out shopping, so I've been wearing my bikini top as a bra for the last few weeks. It works. So it just looks like, and this bikini top doesn't cover up a lot, mind you. It covers the bits, so it just goes up, and I'm just like, Foop! And I was just like, why are Six Flags rides trying to sexually harass me every time I go on them? What the hell?
Oh boy.
I mean, a cool fan service for whoever gets to see those pictures, but
those boys, yeah.
Hey, look, I'm not denying that people wouldn't have a good time looking at that, but I'm not having a good. I'm not having a good time presenting it. But and then the one souvenir I got at Six Flags, because I'm trash, which I thought was really cool, is it's a mood ring that actually looks like a lantern ring. So it's like how the lantern is based off different colors and emotions. And right now it is like a pinkish red color, which means passion. So I'm very passionate about talking
about your boobs.
About my
yes.
I mean, who wouldn't? But that was my week. What about you, Maximilian? I'm sure you went on like magical adventures.
Oh, but for once, my week was not completely boring, believe it or not.
Well,
so so first of all, yesterday I actually, after long time, went to another furry get together in form of the Berlin Fur Dance. You remember that one?
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah, which is organized by a friend of mine, so I literally know the organizer.
You still don't get artwork from it, though. You still don't get artwork from it, though.
It's true. Once again, I got the poster, and I'm not on it again.
Oh no! And you poor thing.
I know, right? And when I was complaining to my other buddy, who is not the organizer but his boyfriend, and we actually were work buddies and everything. So when I talked to Flo, when I talked to Flo, and I was like, I am again not on the PR material, and he was like, yeah, dude, there was a contest. Why didn't you be part of the contest? And I'm like, damn it!
Don't negate my complaining.
First of all,
bring logic into this.
Yeah, first of all, as you said, don't ignore my complaining. Second of all, I could actually have been part of it.
There's always next time.
Indeed. But yeah, since I have not been to the monthly get-together in quite a while, and I skipped Euroferns last year, this was literally the first time in a year that I met all my local furry buddies. Also, here's a beautiful thing for all you straight dudes out there. Going to a furry party is always lovely. You get a lot of attention, but you also don't have the feeling. Cat Cream is wondering where this is going. No,
this is gonna go places.
No. When everybody knows that you are basically the token straight guy at the party, which probably I believe there were one or two others. So when you are the token straight guy at the party and people know this, you still get all the attention and the flirtiness and everything, but everybody knows that they don't have to go further. So you
get the flirting, but you don't get the D because you don't want the D anyway.
Yes. So you can have you can have an actual relaxed party without worrying.
Was the music better than last year?
Period. Every up and down. The basement was horrible as always.
I couldn't go into the basement anyway because they. Okay. Fun fact: I have mild epilepsy, which I can be in flashing rooms, but not for long periods of time. The top room was fine because it was just colored lights and stuff. So if I was like just not looking directly at the light,
basement.
The basement is just nothing but black and white strobe lights.
Yes.
And we were walking down to the basement to be like, okay, let's hear what the music sounds like. I peek into the room, see the strobe lights, look at Max, and I'm like, we're not going in there. And he's like,
okay.
He was like, I'm not going to argue with this.
Since the music in the basement is shitty anyways, this was no harm done to the enjoyment. No, but the upstairs room was occasionally up and down. Sometimes the weird electro remix stuff, but also some fun stuff. What was it when we were completely going like... Those bastards started playing the best music when I was just about to leave. What was it? Like weird A-class material.
Okay, so you went to a fur dance.
Yeah. Then I wanna mix some stuff up a little bit and go to a question right now, because somebody asked award. Little spelling there. Nave the Hedgehog asked, Avengers Infinity Wars is coming to theaters April 27th. Do you plan to go there? Well, to this I have an answer. An answer in visual form.
Don't tell me. Did they have an early premiere?
Soon as he pulls it up, there it is.
The screening is 8 a.m. on Sunday. Oh...
So yeah, Yuri and I booked our tickets for the premiere weekend. But since they already started selling like 2 days ago, obviously half of the good seats were already taken. And there I am again.
That meme is so versatile.
Yes, and then we discovered that there's another screening in IMAX at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and it was basically empty. So we could really pick the sweet spot seats in the IMAX. And I was like, 8 a.m., no, really. And Yuri is like, yeah, get up at 6, do an hour of workout, and then to the cinema. But it's 8 a.m. Yeah, no, really, yeah, we do this. You're serious. I'm booking this now. I'm clicking booking. Yeah, we do this.
The button is here.
Dude,
we can't turn back.
This is 8 a.m. in the morning. Yes, we do this. And, so yeah, he coerced me into getting tickets. I mean, IMAX, nice.
Yuri does better than me. I would never be able to convince you to do that.
8 Sunday.
I wouldn't even try to. It's 8 a.m. I don't want to be awake at 8 a.m.
I've been to. Okay, see, here's the thing. That doesn't sound weird to me because I remember the first Broadway show, the only Broadway show I ever gone to, their screening was like at 9 or 10 a.m. But you know, since you have to take a train to Manhattan, not Manhattan.
Being corrupted.
But like,
where are your thoughts, woman?
And we had to. Ponies, obviously.
And
you have to stand in line at stage shows and get in and stuff. So we had to leave at like 7 in the morning to get on the subway, which was fun. But so that's not weird to me if it's something that's worth it. However, that's a stage performance that has uniqueness with every show. This is Marvel.
It is.
Really?
So it's better, is what you're saying.
Shut up. Nothing beats stage shows.
I haven't been to a stage show in a very long time.
But yeah, I got my tickets.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Then besides that, I also had to get a little bit ready for traveling, because next weekend I will be at StarCon. I believe is the name.
Denver StarCon.
Denver StarCon. So this is why I will not be here for the show, but the show obviously will be running by. Then you have to.
He's putting his trust in me.
I will so regret it. What are you going to do with the A and the W?
Aichi and Kiddish. Wait, and Widdish Ninja. Widdish Ninja is just one word.
There we go.
Also Aichi, Widdish Ninja, and Keyframe want about random drivel.
Yeah, indeed. But that's what it's going to be. I'll have to Photoshop all the faces on and everything, but it'll still work out. It'll be great. I mean, this isn't the first time I've hosted the cast by myself, and will be the first time I stream it on this nice computer. And who knows? Maybe I'll test streaming it on YouTube if I can just get the stream keys and everything. I would need to have access to your YouTube channel.
Oh, there you're going.
Oh.
Then we need to figure this out very quickly because I'm leaving on Wednesday, so...
Well, I mean, it's not hard to figure out. I just need to just click connect, done. It's very easy.
Yeah. But yeah, awkward stands for A and Y, and Keyframe, wonder about random dribble. This took us so long to come up with this.
It took us 6 episodes.
Yes, at least 6 episodes. For the longest time, we were under the we were afraid that we might end up just calling it Key and Me or the Any Key Cast or something really bad like that.
It was Any Key Live for a little while.
But yeah, with awkward, we thankfully found something better.
We found something good.
But yeah, those have been my main events this week, wrapping up stuff privately and work related to be away 1.5 or about a week. And yeah, so what about the media, dear friends?
Who's starting this? Are you good at transitioning or?
I mean, I can start, which is because it kind of ties into it. Or do you want to?
Mine is a YouTube channel again, so
and I went to the cinema again.
You have a good thing going. Yeah. You're on a roll, anyway.
Okay, I keep going then. This was the wrong one. We don't hide our guests. We hide each other.
Oh, this movie.
Yes, this movie. Why is this cut off so weirdly? Sorry. Okay, so yes, today I went to the cinema and I watched the one, the only, the Ready Player One. Okay, this was not intended. Yeah, so I went to watch this beautiful piece of cinematic process. I don't know. Here's a funny thing. Okay, first of all, this movie is not great. Well, you have heard this before. Also, so far, I didn't think it was so bad. But then again, I read somebody else tweeted about it a while ago when it first came out, and they were like, so hey, I watched it again. The first time I saw it, I thought it was actually pretty fun. The second time around, not so much. So it is still possible that when I ever rewatch this movie that I will change my mind. But for a one-time viewing, it actually is nice popcorn. If you don't expect anything to it, it's obviously a non-stop game of spot the reference in the background. Because yeah, this movie is a clusterfuck of references to everything. I mean, it starts out with, hey, we are all about the 80s, but they kind of aged it up because the creator of this virtual world was obsessed with the 80s, so you find a lot of 80s references. However, since it takes place in the future, you also see modern characters like, where you have all seen the trailers, like you see a Tracer running around and Battletoads and whatnot, which is 80s again, so forget about the Battletoads. But... so yes, they aged it up. They talk about Twitch. They name stuff like Twitch, and I believe this is the only one they really mention my name that is more modern.
You know, there's Twitch and Twitch.
Yeah, but yeah, they have the thing of obviously there are a lot of tropey bad things going into it. Like, it's written by old adults who try to capture young internet lingo. And the funny thing is, since this takes place, 2045, so 20 years into the future, basically the adults talk in nowadays internet lingo how adults imagine it.
It just sounds painful.
It's actually not as cringy as you would think it is. No, I did not hate it, Yuri.
Well, does it feel like a Spielberg movie?
Hard to say. I mean, what did Spielberg do recently? Because all his main achievements have been in the 80s, early 90s. Now, hasn't it?
Super 8. That was a Spielberg movie.
It felt like I mean, here's something. So first of all, popcorn-wise, it was, as I said, a very nice one-time viewing because the visuals are the thing that is impressive about it. However, here's a weird meta thing I thought about when I came out of it, because not going into the plot, but there is some kind of quest going on the protagonists have to fulfill, and it actually, from a modern day writing point of view, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. However, it is kind of like 80s bad. It is this kind of like the protagonist understands the great mind, and they actually have some smart ideas sprinkled whatever in there every now and then. So it's basically, the plot itself feels like an 80s plot in a movie that plays a lot of homage to the 80s. So I mean, it doesn't make it a good movie, but it's an interesting thing to observe, I say. And
did you ever read the book version of it?
No, I did not. I have to admit.
No.
But I will probably check out the Dom now that I've seen it. I will check out the Dom, who first did a book review, a book summary, a book review, and then probably the movie or something. He did at least 2 or 3 videos on Ready Player One. No, have you experienced the book?
No, I'm aware it's a thing. I've never read it. I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard a lot of people all say that the movie is actually better than the book is.
Ooh,
like, the movie is okay, but it's better than the book.
Yeah,
which is not something you hear a lot.
Yeah. This is probably a thing, that the movie is okay. For this kind of big budget movie, it is okay. If for example, if I had to compare Ready Player One to Valerian, both of them start with at least 5 minutes of straight out voiceover exposition. I believe Ready Player One was even worse. I believe up until 20 minutes into the movie there was still narrated exposition happening. As I said, the movie is trope-tastic. There are tropes left and right, so don't expect great original writing. It's very tropey, but in a entertaining way. I try to imagine that they did it tongue in cheek instead of trying to be actually good.
I mean, if you look at any behind the scenes stuff, you can tell that they were just like, let's just caution to the one, let's just make a fun movie.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, and as I said, with Valerian, for example, this might actually be the clue that Valerian tried to take itself serious, like, oh, we are so badass, Valerian, the other agent, ooh, are we badass? But then this goddamn woman. No, it was really, they start her out as this tough woman who is actually on the same level of competence with Valerian, who is this Uber agent. And then halfway through the movie, she is the most annoying, crying damsel in distress you have ever seen in a movie. Like, complete 180. And fun fact, this is a spoiler. I guess maybe a tiny bit if you worry about it. So, tiny bit of spoiler maybe.
Nice graphic.
You're welcome. So there is a little bit of a damsel in distress moment in this movie as well. Then again, first of all, it's cancelled out by the fact that the male protagonist needs a bunch of saving first. So that's that. And while the lady needs saving at some point, she still does a lot of stuff herself. It's not like she's completely helpless. The moment she gets a little bit of a kickstart, she is kicking ass again, and quite well. So they even avoided this trope, or at least didn't went down completely with it. Yeah, I guess the thing is, it's not as fantastic as it could be with the budget and everything behind it, but it's visually nice, and the story, it's popcorn. It's popcorn. You probably will find worse, but for one-time view, I had a good time. Once again, I probably simply need to rewatch it to figure out if it really turns so bad on the second viewing. But yeah,
when you're not just looking at, hey, that's the thing I recognize. That's the thing I recognize.
Yeah. Or that when I mean the story is very point by numbers and once again very trope-tastic. So I could imagine that the story. I mean, it's already pretty predictable. I could imagine that when you know where stuff is going, you are like, oh, God, really? How did I miss this the first? I don't know. But yeah, for a one-time viewing, sure, have a good time. Not a must-see, not by a stretch, but if you have $10 lying around and the cinema is around the corner and you have a few hours, why not? So, this was the wrong button. Who is next?
Spoiler again.
I guess I'll go next.
You go next, do you now? Well then,
yes.
Bye guys. Whoop.
Yeah, so I've been watching
Finally,
a lot
it's gone.
I know, right?
Of course, now I can leave. But no, I've been listening to a lot of stuff in the background like usual, and one that I found that I find really entertaining is Binging with Babish, which is a cooking show where this guy recreates different dishes that you see in film and television.
I just saw Archer.
Yeah, he's done stuff from The Office, which was like the pretzel that had everything on it from The Office. Basically any food from regular show, all this kind of stuff. The Ratatouille from Ratatouille.
Ooh.
He does a lot of ridiculous things, and it's actually. And I mean, I love cooking, but it's also, he's just a very calming presence. So he has this very ASMR-y like voice to listen to him.
Bob Ross style, or?
Yeah, very Bob Ross. And I love just listening to him make the stuff.
He's making the ratatouille. He's making the ratatouille. Oh.
Yes, and this is him probably making chili, making bread. One of my favorites the chili from The Office.
So is it like, does he actually teach you how to make it, or is it just him showing off making the food?
He teaches you how to make it.
That's cool.
One of my absolute favorite ones he did was Homer's Moon Waffles from The Simpsons, which is because the first thing he does is always try to recreate them accurately, and then if they turn out bad, he makes a better version of them. Homer's Moon Waffles is a big example. So he made the moon waffles, which in the show was just you pour caramels, store-bought waffle batter into a waffle iron, completely destroy the waffle iron, put liquid smoke in it, and then wrap it around a stick of butter.
Okay, this one is not liking me. It keeps jumping back to the main page.
And he tried it. He took a bite out of it. He was like, "Yeah, this is kind of disgusting." But then he shows you how to like make these like really nice homemade waffles with a caramel sauce, and he's like, "These are actually really good." And the other great one is that they made the I think it was like the every meat chili from regular show. So he went to a store in Brooklyn where you can buy like cobra meat and kangaroo meat and everything, and he made it, and he was like, "This is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted." But he made a better version by using every kind of pork, and he said it was delicious, and I'm like, that's you.
Ooh, you can hear it, right?
Yeah, I can hear it.
This week we are utterly destroying a waffle iron using these caramels.
And there's a voice.
Since I was a kid,
such a good voice.
Oh, and now it looks like it looks like canned cream is his head.
So we're gonna go ahead.
Oh my, it does.
Can I?
Great.
Yeah, just
there we go. Yeah.
But it's gonna overflow.
Perfect.
Gently flows up. Grab a taste of
we lifted the secret.
Oh no, that's disgusting. Liquid smoke.
It's moving too fast. I can't keep up.
That waffle looks disgusting. Oh. Wait, it gets better.
Oh, it gets better.
Yeah, then he wraps it around the stick of butter.
Oh, right, like human.
Does he actually take a bite of it?
Yes.
Oh god, I feel so sorry for him.
Burn both your mouths.
Oh.
Attempting to take a bite. Now, if you can't tell, I don't like this thing. Take a crack at making a slightly better version.
Yeah, so
a slightly better. Okay.
So you can fast forward it to the end of the video, and you can see what he actually made. Like these really nice waffles. But
yeah, it looks much different.
It just what? Oh, and this is just him trying to get the caramel off the thing.
Yeah, no, that waffle iron is destroyed. You might as well throw that in the garbage.
Not the knife too. Dude,
oh! The night
wow.
Thank you, Patreon. But yeah, so, and as you can see, he makes stuff from Breath of the Wild, Harry Potter, the Szechuan sauce from Rick and Morty, all this stuff. And he's just so calming to watch that it's just, I absolutely... He even did stuff like making the pizza sticks from Breaking Bad and teaching you how to make like candy that looks like the blue meth, which is awesome.
Nice.
But I totally recommend his channel, even if you don't like cooking. It's just something that's super calming, and it is honestly really cool to see stuff, especially when you make stuff from animation, to see it be visualized in real life.
I mean, just think about it. I dare to say that a lot of people who are not into painting still watch Bob Ross, so I dare to say this actually is something for a wider audience.
Yeah, so if you want to watch a cooking Bob Ross, Binging with Babish is your best bet.
And as down in the description on YouTube below.
Yes, Unirob, you can send me the theme song via Discord. Did you make an AWKWARDCast theme song, Unirob?
Wait, did he?
He was saying that
boy.
He wanted to.
Now will it sound awkward enough for our show?
Well, while we're waiting, King Cream, tell us about your trash.
Yeah. Yes. Which trash do you want to start with? The good trash or the good trash that actually is critically acclaimed, or the actual trash?
Let's
I have both ready.
I do love trash. God, I do watch so much trashy anime. It's really sad.
So
like, the worse it is, the more.
Let's start with the good one.
Let's start with the good one. Let's start with My Hero Academia, which I believe you guys already talked about.
I believe I talked about both of them, but we only have my opinion.
I won't go too deep into it.
No, but
I won't go too deep into it.
Yes.
Well, let's hear about your opinion.
That's the point. I talked about it, but we don't know how you feel about them. So that's a good thing.
Well, this is actually I'm going through my second viewing of the show. I watched it once by myself, which I really enjoyed, because it is especially with superhero mediums being as popular as it's been for the last several years, it's actually been a surprisingly long trend.
Blame Marvel.
It's kind of amazing to see, with Marvel and DC just trying so hard. God bless them. But it's kind of cool to see something like this come out of Japan and being, God, I'm going to sound so freaking weeby, but I think doing it better than we've been doing it for quite a while. So on my second viewing of the show, I grabbed a couple of friends almost forcefully. It's like, no, watch this thing with me. Enjoy this thing that I enjoy.
I believe I did the same thing with Keyframe and Denim.
And I did that with people with Steven Universe.
So. Yes, like me. You forced me.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. One of them is a massive comic book superhero fan himself. I wouldn't say like he's not like the end all be all know everything, but he has forgotten more about comic books than I will ever know in my life, which that's fine with me. So I was actually very interested in seeing what his thoughts were, and it's one of those great things where they are losing their shit with hype with how excited they are. I'm allowed to swear on this show, right?
Yeah, of course.
Shit, man, don't say good. Fuck.
I think I've already sworn multiple times. I'm just
Same here.
But they are absolutely losing their minds with hype. They are getting really into it, and it's fantastic. The only thing saving me from like just staring at them the entire time the show's going on is the fact that we're all watching it in separate houses and just, screen sharing. So, or otherwise it would be one of those things where instead of watching the show, I'm just like, with them, it's like, are you enjoying the thing that I like?
Yeah, bro, yeah!
It took me a little bit to get into My Hero simply because I could not like Deku for the longest time.
He does start out very
whiny.
Anime protagonist. Yes. Yeah, he is very whiny, very cry. Like,
even in season 2,
one of my friends asked me, it's like, is he gonna be like Shinji?
No, thank goodness not.
No, I was like, no, that changes very quickly. Don't worry, he doesn't. Yeah. No, he doesn't cry every time he has to get into his giant fighting robot. Don't worry.
No, but I believe it already gets better throughout season 1, and he only has one more big cry in the beginning of season 2, I believe.
Well, yeah, which I think is deserved.
Yes.
I think anytime he kind of breaks down from that point on, it's like, yeah, there's a reason for it because emotions.
Yes,
but it's just fantastic to see such creative hero designs and powers and the realistic way that they do it, whereas in the powers almost have reasons behind why they work and logical shortcomings as to why they wouldn't work. Like someone like Eraserhead who can remove someone's powers by looking at them, but he can't blink because as soon as he blinks, that stops working. So it's a nice little contrast. Like almost no one is completely overpowered except for All Might himself, and that's for good reason. Or someone like Todoroki, who was, I guess, spoiler alert, not really, genetically designed to be completely overpowered because of like selective marriages and breeding and crap. So, like, it's just so exciting to see that kind of thought and design go into a superhero show like this. It's like and I think the new season is coming out relatively soon.
It is. No,
the premiere already happened. I don't know their release schedule for the rest of the season, but from all the bikini pictures, I know that it came out and it was apparently a beach episode.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. Not even a beach episode. They only made it to the swimming pool on the school campus.
Yeah, it's like a recap episode from what I heard.
Yes, it is.
That's like, that's how we're starting. Oh.
I love the designs in Hero. The only two designs I don't like, and I've had this discussion with Ambrose, I don't like the design of Momo's superhero outfit. I get that her power is that stuff comes out of her skin, but what's with the utility belt skirt? Just give her a one piece at that point, And Midnight. I think Midnight looks dumb. Her boob socks are stupid.
I have a friend that will fight you to the death about that.
Well, me and Ambrose
she absolutely loves Midnight.
Me and Ambrose are actually doing a challenge where we take two character designs we don't like and switch them with each other. Ooh. And I have to redesign Midnight because Ambrose hates Midnight's design, and he's redesigning Equestria Girls and Luna because I hate Luna's Equestria Girls design. So that's going to be fun.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I'd say most of the Equestria Girls designs aren't that good. Like, they don't translate well.
But yeah, Ken Cream. Final words on Heroes before we go down to Trash Hill. Population 2, you and me. Actually, Population 3.
There's also a good video game version coming out soon. No, honestly, if it's one of those shows that, for whatever reason, has been under your radar, go and watch it. It's fantastic. I'm glad that I've finally sat down and seen it.
I have no idea how anybody who is into anime could have missed it to this point.
Honestly, I know, but it's so good.
Also, I will probably get a lot of flack for this, but pretty good dub.
Yeah, the dub's good. I like the dub.
I love dub. Yeah. But then I'm one of those trash casuals that will always watch the dub if there is a dub.
Same here. At least the English dub, because the German dub is really, really bad. I mean, I know.
Oh, I gotta hear some German dubbed anime, man. It must be great.
Oh, I will send you one. Armitage 3, the German dub is absolutely emotionless. It's amazing. Also, all anime dubs from the late 90s had the same crew of, I don't know, a dozen people, so you hear the same voices in all movies all the time.
All played by one person.
More or less.
Girls.
So, should we move on to Trashville?
Yeah. Let's. We have the trash all piled up.
Oh, look.
Let's turn on the lighter and then let's let it burn. Now, Keyframe. Looking at just that image, can you take a wild guess at why I suddenly got interested in seeing this show when ANY posted on the Tumblr?
Because I'm guessing you really thought there was an intriguing story there. Also boobs and fit girls, which, look, I don't mind. Honestly, I've actually, sad admission, I actually have watched this show and I don't mind it.
Yes!
I caved in and watched some episodes. It's not bad, and The girls in motion look better than them standing still. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
The animation actually is bad, but like I still just looking at the stills. This is the arms. Look at that.
Look, you're going into some dumb crap. Like this is not award-winning by any way, shape, or form. But if you want to see like just attractive-looking girls fighting each other, and there are also guys too, but
I mean, if you want to watch some attractive girls and one this super adorable beagle, which I think is only in the manga now. I haven't seen if she's in the show yet. I don't think. No, you have the super cute rabbit girl though. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that's.
I like the rabbit girl, but Badger is my favorite.
So you even fell for the title character.
I don't know. I like. There's something endearing about the sociopath.
It's true. I cannot deny that. But yeah, I guess. Do you have more to say about this canned cream?
I'm just looking in the chat. Like Monster Musume greater than Killing Bites, and you're not wrong.
I mean, we all agree.
Wow, that's a different trash fire.
I mean,
you ignore Spider Girl because Spider Girl's terrifying.
Oh well,
there's a lot about that you got to ignore. About that whole show, they get super creepy at times. Like, oh, I'm physically uncomfortable right now with Monster Musume.
Oh boy.
But yeah. There are a couple things. Real talk about the show. I do want to say is that one, I like a good tournament anime show, and it is a relatively interesting tournament where, like, all the contestants get plopped down on a island, and like each team of 3 is being controlled by a player who, like, gets a random dice roll and gets to move their players across like a grid to certain spots, and if 2 of them end up in the same place, they have to have a fight until someone dies, gets knocked out, or a player moves their piece out of there. So it is kind of an interesting little, almost like real-time strategy game happening at the same time of these fights. The show doesn't get really deep into it, but it's just kind of cool to watch. And the other thing is, it does have that almost Dragon Ball Z problem of, like, how many times can you go past your power level? Oh, as many times as the show needs. It doesn't matter. Everyone's just as strong as they need to be at any given time. But you know what? You go in knowing what you're going to see. So it's almost hard to get upset. It's like, wow, this anime about half animal girls fighting each other isn't as deep as I was hoping it was going to be.
The shock.
You get what you get, you know?
Yes.
Exactly. It is 100%. At least it knows what it is and revels in it. So you can't really fault it too much.
Okay. So, shall we move on to the questions?
Before that, look in the chat. Unibro made our new theme song.
Okay, and I find this in Discord or
no. It's in the Skype chat, right under your guys' children.
Oh, in the Skype chat. Oh, that's right under. Oh, lovely.
I like how the sun is just staring blankly.
Okay, there.
They're both confused and scared and don't want to be here.
So this is now the official, the first potential awkward song. Oh.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme is seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for awkward. Random guests and funny gags is the awkward cast. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the awkward cast. It's the awkward cast.
Wow. Okay.
That was actually really good.
We don't deserve a theme song that good.
Okay, now we have to figure out how we actually integrate this into the.
We need to make like the opening that Co-optional Podcast has with the
with animation and everything.
Yeah, we gotta upgrade. God damn it, Unirod, you're making us work more on this podcast.
I mean, for starters, I guess I can replace the current credit song, which is just a random song, with this one, so as starter. And then, yeah, we can see if and when we ever get an intro, an actual one done. But I'm liking it. I'm liking it very much. Thank you very much.
Good. You got to get the up. There's a Be More Chill fan in the audience. Thank you. But that was so good. But let's move on to questions, and I will be the questions are today.
Oh, are you now? Oh boy.
Yes, because I can actually do that because. Thank God I moved to getting the actual program of Skype and not just the Microsoft desktop thing that kept shutting down my camera when I clicked away. Okay, so first from Denim Ninja. Can you recall the best fortune cookie fortune you've ever had or last seen? The thing is, I actually had Chinese food last night because I forgot to eat the entire day, and I almost passed out in the living room. So
lovely.
Brett was like, "We got to get you food."
Sorry.
But I had a fortune cookie, and it said, "Good news is going to come to you from a familiar neighbor." I don't know what that means, but hopefully something good. But the weirdest fortune cookie I've seen, I don't know if it was a prank one or something. It just said, "You're next."
Okay.
You're a next or you're next?
You're next.
You're next. Woo.
Yes.
Okay.
Kitchen is running out of meat. We need more meat.
You're next. The fortune cookie killer strikes again.
That was my fortune cookie moment.
Yeah, I'm afraid I actually don't have one because normally, I had a few I can't talk again anymore. I had a few fortune cookies in my day. I mean, every now and then for shits and giggles when you're at a Chinese place, you take the fortune cookie, but most of I had none that took risks. So I didn't have one too recent, so I cannot recall it, and I had no risk takers. I had like the usual ones like, there's good weather coming or whatever. Pretty much like your neighbor one, but just very, very, very calendar quote and nothing where you are like, I need to be on the outlook for that in the upcoming days. Nothing really grippable. So that
no, you're next.
No, you're next. Yeah, that's fantastic.
And also nothing that came with a big freaky moment like. Fortune is coming your way. I just won in the lottery. What? Nothing like that. So
fortune is coming your way, Max.
I mean, I don't know if other places have it, but American fortune cookies have it where they have your lucky numbers, which is like your lottery numbers that you can submit.
Okay.
My dad used to do that. I mean, there were some.
And he's a millionaire.
No, but no, he did, the few times where he did use those lucky numbers, he actually did win some of the smaller prizes, and I'm like, you gotta do this more often, Steven, and he's like, I know my numbers, and I'm like, no, you obviously don't. But what about you, CC?
God, unfortunately, it's the same thing as ANY. Every time I've ever had one, it's always been just like the most generic, safe, cookie cutter, no pun intended, just nothingness every time. Yeah,
hey, cookie cutter.
I gotta bake fortune cookies and bring them to a con and just put them in random places.
That sounds amazing.
Also,
yes.
Messages.
Doing random shit to people. Was it Yuri who just told me what is the worst thing you can do at a party to all your friends? And I so need to do this.
What is it?
You have a bowl.
Skittles.
Yes, mix Skittles and Smarties in one bowl.
No, see.
I heard Skittles and M&Ms.
Yes, I mean Skittles and M&Ms. But
no, you want to add some real fun to it.
Oh boy.
Make them. You take Skittles, M&Ms, and Reese's Pieces. So you get peanut butter in there too. But what I did this once at a cast party. It was my last cast party before I transferred to my new school. And we always play pranks on each other. So it was out of good faith. At the bottom of the bowl, so before people because they always stick their hands into the bottom of the bowl, I put those mint chocolate M&Ms in there too. So you get mint and Skittle and chocolate. It was, they were disgusted.
You did well.
Thank you, Sensei. But no, go But go to a con or something and put fortune cookies everywhere, and inside the fortune it's like your next Steven. You've got to know there's at least one chance someone named Steven will get that fortune cookie.
You watched too much Last Week Tonight.
Or just no, go to CoxCon and just make everyone Jesse and just see if Jesse gets a fortune cookie at some point.
Perfect.
We're learning. But okay, next question. Good question. Help me come up with evil plots. This one's from our good old Enigma.
I guess the entire remaining ones are from our good friend Enigma. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
He's back. I mean, chat, if you want to ask us some questions, just use #AskAwkward. ANY can check the chat while I do Twitter.
That's true. Wait, the chat? Okay, I checked the chat.
Yeah, because
I'll do nothing.
Yeah, you sit there and look pretty.
This used to be my job.
Enigma asks, can men and women generally and genuinely be friends? If so, what makes you say that? No, Enigma. See, every time I meet a friend that is a male, I lay eggs in their sternum, ready to burst it whenever I fit. So there are more me's in the world. That is the plight of every woman who has a platonic friend. We are just waiting to strike. We are all alien queens. No, I have, being someone who's in a fandom that is comprised mostly of males, I have a lot of platonic guy friends. It is fully possible.
Mm-hmm. But do they? But I can you say for sure that they don't think about it anyways?
I don't know, but they don't pursue it, so.
I mean, no being tipsy and being like, you're so pretty. And looking down the cleavage.
What?
No. I mean, like, and then being like, you're so pretty, and then looking down the cleavage.
I've had that happen a couple of times, but those people aren't my friends anymore.
Well, somebody's very strict about those platonic friendships.
Oh no, it's just like alcohol doesn't make you act different. It just takes away your inhibitions, and if you're gonna be that much of a scumbag, then I don't really want to associate, That's just the simple thing.
No, but at the end of the day, I would agree that, yes, it is absolutely possible. I mean, think about it like this. I mean, I already talked about all my gay endeavors this week. I have a bunch of gay friends, but from my point of view, obviously it's easy. I don't know how it is from their point of view, but just imagine it like it. You have, with, for example, when you are straight and the other person is homosexual, then it is clear by the get-go, hey, there will nothing happen. Even if one feels a general attractiveness, it will not come to anything because, well, the other one is completely not interested. And now this same completely not interested is theoretically possible between a straight male and a straight female. So, yeah, it's possible.
The thing that separates us from the animals is that our instinct need to mate does also have some emotional qualifiers. But
sometimes. But yeah, Ken Cream, you wanted to say something as well. Or did we?
No, I was just agreeing. I mean, I've had multiple female friends throughout my entire life. Some of which I met in high school and are still friends with. And it's like that's where it begins and ends. They're friends. It's fine.
Yeah, but okay. So another question from Enigma. Okay, so he says that we have to pick one of these things.
Also, I have a chat question in between.
Okay, let's ask.
So that it's not the Enigma Prince show.
Okay, what's the chat question?
You told them they are allowed to do this for once.
Yeah,
so
yeah, okay.
Now I have to actually check for them.
Purple key, #cookie.
True story. So Nightfall asks, what is your guy's favorite food?
Pizza.
Sushi.
Pizza.
Sushi. Just straight pizza. Kung Pao chicken.
Oh, Kung Pao chicken's also really. No, man,
Fantastic.
I have a very specific favorite food, and this is the entire reason I'm not fat, is because my specific favorite food is literally on the other coast.
That'll do it.
It's New York style pizza from one specific pizzeria that I went to when I was growing up as a kid. Eddie D's Pizza, pepperoni, right out of the oven, so it's still nice and greasy and the cheese is oozing off. It with a Barks root beer, perfect. You sit there at the pizzeria. It's just. I love pizza so much, and there's not ever any good pizza anywhere else in this world. The closest thing I've gotten to a pizza that I could like just as much was this curry pizza I had in Germany. But that's like apples and oranges at that point.
I just wanted to say we need to try German pizza just to see if even that is better than anything you get in America.
I need to get just a traditional pepperoni pizza with you guys actually knowing what pepperoni is. And
I'm gonna have to get some pizza after I'm done here.
Oh yeah,
I'm getting hungry for pizza
and
now.
also, I may lose some fans here. Some people may leave my Discord. There may be flame wars and expose articles about me.
Sounds appropriate. What are you going to say?
New York style, Brooklyn style thin crust pizza is better than deep dish. I don't care what anyone says. Deep dish pizza is the worst invention of culinary design. Fight me.
Gonna get out of your blast zone.
But yeah, I guess we wait for all the hate mail. Send all the hate mail to
the ANY Pony.
No, to at Keyframe, yeah. at Keyframe on Twitter or something like this. At Keyframe MLP.
Is my Twitter at Keyframe on Twitter? That's a great handle.
At Cosmic Keyframe. So there we go. Now I exposed you.
There we go.
Okay, but back to the Enigma Prince show.
Exactly.
Okay, he says we can only pick one of these. A trip to your favorite place ever for a week, a check for $1 trillion, one expensive private party with your closest friends. You can only have one of these to do in your life. Which do you choose, and how would you best experience or use that choice? I feel like if I had the check for $1 trillion, I could do options 1 and 3.
Yeah, I mean, unless
$1 trillion.
Unless the check is a cursed check, and you literally can never ever get together with your friends again or visit your favorite place. In this case, yeah, I wouldn't skip the cursed one, but. You probably set the $1 trillion too high there. The $1 trillion too high.
Yeah.
Because
like let's have some qualifiers here. If it's a trip to your favorite place ever for a week, is it that this is the only time in your life that you can visit this place ever again, and it's the best trip that you'll ever have? The check for $1 trillion is that you have to go into complete hiding and leave everyone you've ever known in your life.
But what would we do? Here's the point. I mean, without any further qualifiers to this question, I would say, yeah, the $1 trillion, obviously, because you can get everything else with it. I mean, I'm not somebody who idealizes money, not at all, but I understand it. Yeah, but I understand money as a means to the ends, and therefore, having a great time with you, I would buy a club and have a party with my friends every night there, and then I would put stuff into the club that it becomes my favorite place or whatever. Or I would figure my favorite place out somewhere in Spain on the beach and get all my friends there. With $1 trillion, you can have the greatest things as long as...
You could buy an island!
Yes, so it's kind of a deal breaker within this question. But let's make it a little bit. Let's make it a harder decision. So let's keep number 2 being about monetary issues. But basically, you can pick that your life costs are covered. So you have a place to live. You are not going hungry. You have clothing, but that's it. So therefore, you don't have the money to invite all your friends to a party, and you don't have the extra money to visit your favorite place. So now, basically, a safe, secure life versus a good time with friends versus happy place. Actually, now it becomes a very difficult question, and I don't know anymore.
I would pick hanging out with friends. You only have one life. And
honestly, you make the second one almost sound like living hand to mouth. Paycheck to paycheck almost. I can do that now.
But not not just paycheck to paycheck, but you have a basically replicator in your place. So you get all food you need, all clothing, whatever. Just no friends.
Enigma says we can't use the check to get the other two things. You could have put that qualifier in the actual tweet, buddy.
But why not? What would you do with this amount of money if you couldn't?
$1 trillion to make robot clones of my friends.
Yeah,
there you go. Better friends.
Because seriously. With this amount of money, it's just too much.
No, listen. I'll get like those robot things that can walk around, and then I'll put iPads on all their faces and just Skype on my friends to be like, here, and buy them VR headsets and mail it to them, and then they can be like they're actually at the parties.
Aha! You found a loophole there. I
found the loopholes, but okay. Do we have
Then
another?
you can go into VR chat, make a recreation of your favorite place, and have it in there. All 3 worlds.
Yeah, just do what the Grumps did and make a complete recreation of the Grump space.
Or invent a big a big virtual world, call it the Oasis, and become a player in it, like a player 1, and you have to be ready for it.
Is there another question in the chat that's not the Enigma Print show?
Yeah, I believe so. Death Alchemist asked, "What is your most hated and annoyed song?" Wait, an annoying song. I believe we had something similar. The most hated annoying songs.
What song can give us a migraine? But that doesn't dignify annoyance. That just means it's painful. My least favorite song that I've ever heard. I mean, if we're just going with greatest hits, because there's a lot of bad independent music, let's face it.
Yeah.
Look up. There's one song that I absolutely despise that I don't know why it got popular, and it's called Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke. And it's like, and these blurred lines, I know you want it, I know you want it. And it's like, for one thing, it actually stole the beat from a Marvin Gaye song, so that's just great. But also, it's such a scummy song that just sounds like date rape. And it's like this guy who's trying to be Justin Timberlake from the Sexy Back era, and then it's just like, nope, nope, you are not Justin Timberlake. You don't have the charisma for it. And you're kind of creepy, so please go away. You're like a dad looking at a teenage girl being like, oh, if you weren't my daughter's friend and you were older, I would so date you. Like, ooh.
Ew.
Yeah, so that's my least favorite song. What about you, Cece?
I'm looking it up right now because I don't know the name of it for very obvious reasons, because I hate this song with every fiber of my being.
He said sound, not song.
Oh, not song. That's a different. Okay, then that one.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Now that you mention it, it says sound right there in the chat.
Well, okay. If we're going with sound, then the sound that I hate the most ever hearing, because it makes me want to hurt things, is the sound of a baby crying.
Oh.
The sound of most people get maternal instincts of, oh, I want to care for it. I want to make sure it's okay. No, I want to throw the thing off a roof. And then throw the parents off the roof with it. I hate the sound of a baby cry. I think it's because it's mostly been experienced when I'm on airplanes and I'm stuck with it for hours, and I'm just like, urge.
Throw the baby off the airplane.
Rising. It's a great contraceptive method. Just stick someone in a room with a screaming child for hours and hours and hours, and then you'll realize, you know what? This ain't worth it.
Just work retail for a while. You'll get all the screaming kids you can handle.
Exactly. But what about an annoying sound for you?
You know that sound where the people who just the sound of subwoofers in people's cars, the one they super amplify, so if you're seeing a red light, all you hear is just it's like, God damn it, how do you even hear the music anymore? I'm in my car like 3 rows over and I can feel the vibration coming through my steering wheel. I hate the fucking sound of subwoofers and those trashy, souped up cars. It's the dumbest thing.
What about you, Maxie?
I'm trying to. I mean, there are some sounds that make basically hurt my ears, like a fork on a glass plate. So the stuff that, the stuff that actually does hurt, make you the literal cringe. But beyond that, I don't have too many. I cannot recall any good or any interesting sounds that I dislike. So that's a bummer.
I remember one time you were in a call with me and you were making pouring peanut butter on like bread. You had the glass jar next to the mic.
Accidentally,
and I was like,
yes.
what the hell? And that was the one time I actually saw you felt guilty about something.
Here's one sound that is super annoying. I had once a heater which did a dripping sound inside of it.
Oh.
But you
why?
I don't know, but this problem is you hear a dripping sound and it comes from the heater and you are like, shit, is it leaking? You go all over the floor, like, is it wet anywhere? Because you have a carpet, like the floor, you're worried that the floor might actually get damaged, but you're like, okay, I don't find anything. It's not leaking, but I hear the dripping and drives you nuts. And eventually you grab an axe and you go after your family, and then you run after them through a snowy labyrinth. And wait, no, I'm confusing myself again with somebody else. Please, guys, continue. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you quit living for a little while?
I'll try.
Okay.
He needs a
Let's
break.
see. Enigma asks, which of these things drives you more in your life and the choices you make overall? Your heart or your mind? Why did you choose that choice and not the other? And what does that say about your character overall? I mean, I think that's a case-by-case basis, but in general, I even though my first reactions tend to be with my heart, but I think everyone has that. Everyone has their innate reactions. When I need to make decisions, I usually go with my head.
Yeah, I think I'm more emotionally based when it comes to my decisions, and that's why they're almost always wrong. But it's way too easy to go with the knee-jerk reaction that it is to sit down and actually think something out. Because God knows when I try to sit down and actually think out a problem, it becomes hours of just second guessing myself over and over again. So I've always heard that your first reaction is usually the right one. Your first instinct is the correct one.
Unless you are a bloodthirsty sociopath. In this case, please consider
your first instinct is the correct one.
It's probably not the correct one, and you should maybe consider thinking the consequences through. No, for me personally, it's probably, sadly, the mind. Clearly the mind. I'm a horrible overthinker. So even to the point where I don't do anything because I first need to think it through. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm the middle road because it's I get put into a position most of my life where I have to be the one to think with my head because I'm around so many emotionally charged people. But if I'm thinking about something I want to do, with the subjective stuff of what do you want to do with your life, there is an innate emotional thing of, I could go and not a dumb person. I could probably go find a programmer or some kind of job that I know will give me a stable income. Everything will be safe and fine. But then there's the emotional thing of I want to be happy with the things that I do, my job, my career. But then you put your logic into it of okay, how can I realistically do this? And that's kind of my middle road of working through things because it's yeah, here's an emotional, irrational problem. Let's find a way to rationally get through it. Just because a problem's root is irrational doesn't mean you can't get through it rationally.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Enigma, for your designated deep question.
Indeed.
Please, can you come up with more shit posts? You're gonna have to get Unirock for sad reprise for something.
I've got another one from the chat.
Okay, great.
From JT Ferret, who asks, what other furry conventions would you go to that is not Eurofurns in the future?
I don't know a lot. And also, I would like to go with people.
The thing is, I mean, Eurofurns, duh.
It's literally in your backyard.
It is.
That's convenient.
But a different. Then there is Anthrocon, which I simply wanna experience once, like a bucket list thing. It's the biggest one, by far. I believe Anthrocon, I believe, is even twice the size of Eurofurn. So whoever survived Eurofurns, it's the mecca. And there is another one. Oh yeah, AX, I believe, is the other one that Embrace recommended us not too long ago. So that's also an interesting thing. So yeah, more stuff in California. But yeah, maybe AX in Anime Expo. Wait, which is the one? Ambrose told us about a furry convention in California.
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name. So hold on, I'm gonna look up furry cons in California.
Yeah, because that one, Ambrose is planning to go there next year, 2019. So that might be a fun thing to meet Ambrose there.
Are you? 2019.
What is it now?
It just doesn't say the name. I need to. God, the furry calendar list doesn't list it by places. It's just.
That's helpful. But yeah, Kent Cream, how about your future plans to meet to visit furry conventions? You just presented Killing Bites as your medium. Everybody knows you are a dirty furry.
That's true. That's true. I have dug this grave that I'm now lying in.
Yeah. He was either talking about Califer or Further Confusion.
No, Califer, I believe. Yeah, puns. Both are puns, but I believe he was talking about Califer.
Cool.
Cool. But yeah, Kent Cream. So no further furry activities.
I have no on convention in the near future. No, I will continue to sit here in my home and be antisocial.
Wow. To this, I can only say this makes me feel a little bit awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The meme has seen on this live stream and talk about random crap. It's time for AWKWARDCast. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags. It's the AWKWARDCast. It's the awkward. Artists and analysis. You do not want to miss the AWKWARDCast. It's the awkward. It's the AWKWARDCast.